We cannot afford to be so politically correct anymore.
I've been a feminist my whole life.
Timmy's my best friend.
All right, here I am with Belinda Love. She's a sex and dating coaching expert. She was also on The Bachelor on Maddie J's season, and she's also a mate of mine who we both get in very heated discussions about a lot of political stuff quite often, and we thought we'd jump on here and have one of these discussions in public for you guys to hear what we talk about. So here we go. Here's my pretty intense chat with Belinda Love. What's this I hear about you dating one of the potential maths intruders? In the past.
Yes. Yeah. So we went on a date probably 18 months ago, and it was
Name, please. Who are we talking about?
His name's Matt.
There you go. Belinda and Matt. You heard it first here.
Damn it. We had a great date, actually. It was phenomenal. And then nothing.
Ghosted you?
Actually, I pulled it because I didn't hear from him for like 4 or 5 days. And I was like, oh, this is no effort. Thank you. You're a great guy. Thanks for the date. You know.
What do you reckon is the right time for a guy to message a girl after they've had a good date?
Well, see, I like when you've left them and you're on a high, say, hey, thanks for the date. It was great. You know, it's a really nice touch at the end of a date, and it shows interest. But then to do that and then to not speak for 3 or 4 days that's my boundary crossed. I love banter, and I connect through conversation and communication. And if it's not there, oh, well, see ya.
It's a pretty fair indication that if a guy hasn't texted you 4 or 5 days after a date, he's probably not that interested.
Yeah.
I've just had a female friend of mine move in, and like we talk about everything, and she hooked up with a dude last night. Run her under the bus here, so I won't go into too much detail. And got into it, had a bit of a session, shall we say. He texted this morning at like 10, hey, how are you? It was good to hang out last night. Oh, what are you up to? Do you want to grab lunch? She didn't respond because she's a bit hungover. Then like, oh, I'm just getting home from work. Let me know what you're up to. See how's the lunch thing going. And then like, I think you sent like 5 text messages the very next day asking to go to lunch. And she's just like, oh shit, this guy's a psycho. Why is he texting me 5 times? Like that's too much attention, and it's kind of put her off him.
I think it's like a tennis match, dating. You hit the ball, you hit it back. You hit the ball, you hit it back. You have to have equal investment. If there's no equal investment, then just next, move on. Don't waste your time, but do it with integrity. I hate ghosting. Yeah. I can't deal, even if it's a one night stand and you discuss that night, we'll catch up again and you change your mind the next day, say, hey, thanks, great night. Let's leave it at that.
I think ghosting is amazing.
Shut up. It is not.
Both ways. I would rather a girl ghost me, and it happens all the time. I've been on a date with a girl and I thought it was a good vibe. And then a couple of days go by, she hasn't messaged me. And then I message her back, nothing. And I'm like, you get the picture. It's done. You don't need to have that awkward conversation of like, oh, look, it wasn't quite right for this reason, or I'm just not in that space anymore. It's done. Take the message, fucking move on. It's a great system.
I'm going to get you some insight into the female brain. So after intimacy, women release more bonding chemicals than men. So it's an actual chemical reaction that we release more serotonin, dopamine, and all the bonding chemicals than men, because if we're going to have a child with that person, we bond with them after intimacy. So for a woman, if you don't hear from them, it's a harder blow. Not all women, like just generally speaking, men have sex to feel love, and women need to feel love to have sex. Yeah. So
well, not all women though. There's a lot of women that are just horny buggers and just want to get out there and have sex and move on. Like I've been ghosted a bunch by women who just use me for my body. They only want one thing.
And your status. I've been there. Not with you, but yeah. So don't ghost, have integrity. Understand that women's brains work a little bit differently. I just find at the moment with dating and relationships, people are too scared to be vulnerable. They don't want, they're trying to play it cool. And we're getting into a society now where we're so disconnected, and we're just in the junk food, fast food mentality when it comes to dating and relationships.
Marriage is great, and I'm all for it as well. But like,
I wasn't saying marriage specifically. Just, I think it's like a drug. It's an addiction. I was a sex addict.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Dropping the bombshells. Yeah, I was a sex addict. And how much should I reveal around that?
A lot. I want to hear this. When was this and how did it manifest? Were you on dating apps or what? How did you fulfill that desire?
For me, it was a lack of self-worth. So I felt that when a man slept with me or was intimate with me, it meant that he liked me and it would boost my ego. I would feel good about myself, but then the next day I would feel shit because I knew that it wasn't anything. It was just a quickie,
There's nothing necessarily wrong with shallow hookup sex.
No, nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing. But if you're doing it, I call it outcome-based sex. So if you're having sex with someone because you think it's going to turn into a relationship, then you're going into it for the wrong reasons. You need to go into it to be present and enjoy the moment and know that if tomorrow I don't hear from them, will I be okay with that as a woman? That's how, yeah.
So how often a week were you having sex?
Okay, so I'm very shy with this, but I probably should reveal. There was, I probably... every night.
The safe space. Every night.
Sometimes a few times a night with different people. Pardon?
Oh, what? Are you kidding me?
No.
A few times a night with different people.
Yes.
In different sessions.
Mm-hmm.
What? So you'd have one person lined up, have sex with them, and then someone
go
else.
Out, meet someone, go back, and then go back out again, meet another person.
Wait, you meet these people at the club?
Yeah, but this is all before Tinder and Bumble and online dating.
What's the most you did in one night?
Are you going to put some like music over it waiting for me to answer?
Yeah, definitely.
4.
4 separate people in one night, all from going out to a club, meet one person, go home, have sex with them, go back out 4 times. How good must it be to be a woman? If I was a hot chick like you, I'd probably be doing that too.
Oh, thank you. But it was for the wrong reasons, Dean. Like it was literally because I felt so unattractive and so unworthy. It was like drugs. Like I don't do drugs. I don't do, I'm not much of a drinker.
Were you drinking when you were doing that?
Not much at all.
Interesting.
So it was all outcome based for me. I needed to feel good about myself and I went about it the wrong way.
Right.
So I've done a lot of healing and that's why I've been abstinent now for 9 months because I don't want the quick fix anymore. I know what that's like. I've experienced it. I could tell you, I've been to swingers club. I've done it all. I used to host expo. So I've seen a lot, experienced a lot. I think it also adds to why I'm such a great love coach and relationship coach. Because I've experienced it, but I went into it for the wrong reasons. They were hard lessons, hard lessons.
What's your body count, you reckon?
I'm going to get a lot of judgment for this.
Not at all.
And do you know, I always say that your body count doesn't matter because it's not really about who you've been with. It's about how you are in the present. I would like, there's a guy on Maths at the moment boasting about 350 women.
Yeah, 350. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would more than double it.
Oh shit.
What's the shit for? You're judging me, Dean.
No, I'm impressed. That's good. I'm all for it. Like, well done. I'm jealous. My number's not that. Like,
what is it?
Up there. Like, I'm probably sitting around 250 roughly. Definitely not up in those numbers. I'm not judging at all. But I've also got friends that just love fucking and they go out and fuck as many dudes as they can. Female friends I'm talking about. And God bless them. I love them. I'm all for that. Like, and they're emotionally fine. They work a job, very functional, very healthy, pay their bills, do their thing, just love dick and get out there and get as much of it as they possibly can. And obviously women, I think, can pick up kind of easier than men, I think, because it's just men are just horny buggers just trying to hit on every girl in the club. But no, I'm no judgment here whatsoever. I'm like impressed. Well done.
Thank you. And I'm bisexual, so I get 100% options out there. I was shy and embarrassed about sharing that, but that's because I've only told one other person my number, and that was about 3 weeks ago. So,
The whole
and
world's going to know it.
that's okay. That's all right. I'm an empowered woman who absolutely loves and enjoys sex, but I also and empower women to have sex for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Not for outcome, to enjoy the moment, embrace it. But it's made me who I am today, and I'm never, ever, ever going to regret any of it. I think I'm offer a lot in a relationship sense, and that number, if a man is going to say to me, oh, that's a high number, I can't date you, well, that's on him. That's not on me. I'm never going to take that on board.
It's interesting. This is really interesting, actually, because I got to say, I misjudged you a little bit. In the back of my mind, I was thinking, how many guys has she been with? Like, does she really know that much about love? You just seem very sweet and innocent. And I've hung out with you a few times, and you are very sweet and innocent and lovely. I did not know that about you and your past. And now it's like, it all makes sense now. You do know a lot, and you get to learn. If you've been with that many people, and my numbers, like I said, around 250, you have an experience with each one of those people. If you get to the point where you're having sex with a person, you have to have some bond. You have to know them a little bit. You have to learn about their personality. And that is a great life skill and experience. And it's not for everyone, but I love the fact that I've hooked up with hundreds of women and traveled the world and met women from all walks of life. And it's taught me a lot about women, like, and relationships in general and what I want. And like, I was married when I was younger, and like, I probably didn't live out those fantasies in my 20s because I got married at 23 after I'd only had sex with 5 or 6 people. So I kind of went a bit crazy in my 30s when I got divorced and like made up for lost time. And I'm so glad I did. You learn about humanity, and you learn about people's morals and people's values and just interesting shit about people. Again, bowing down, like, you just
Thank you.
opened up a new light of who you are. And I respected you anyway, but I respect you even more now. And it makes much more sense that you do what you do. So more power to you.
I appreciate that, Dean. Yeah. And I think if I can empower men and women to, really embrace who they are and heal the trauma, the pain, or the neglect, whatever it might be that we're dealing with, it plays out in our lives. It creates patterns, and we continue to attract the same people on that wavelength and that frequency. It is a frequency. When you think you're unworthy, you attract people who will treat you that way. But I'm never regretful of anything that I've done, and so grateful for all of it. But I have hidden that side of me because I felt I didn't want to be judged. I didn't want to be, put in a box of that she's the sex addict, she's a slut, she's a whatever people want to say. But, maybe I need to be a Grace or a Brittany and step forward and start to speak more about that so people can be educated.
We've broken down the stigma around women's sexuality. Good on, all the feminists and all the women that push for that. You yourself, you are a feminist, and you are furthering that cause and that idea more right now. So well done. Congratulations. And
healthy
that should be, and we should all learn from that.
This has been a great chat. Thanks, Dean. I appreciate you challenging me.
You too. You've definitely opened my eyes. Good stuff.